Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Friday, October 17th here in our world. Anyway, it's a lovely day in Franklin, Massachusetts. Blue sky. It is a little chilly, but it is October. What can we expect? It's supposed to be like that. But it's lovely. So hopefully it's going to be a lovely weekend. So I hope you're going to pop on and say hello to me. And I do want to tell you that hopefully both YouTube and Facebook are working properly. And that is because my dear sweet friend Jamie at Switcher helped solve the problem. There was a little technical issue and I certainly didn't understand it, but he did. Good morning, Jan. So it was very sweet of him and it's 10 o'clock. But as I was saying, I was very happy that Jamie was able to solve the problem. So Jamie, if you're out there, a big thank you once again for your amazing support. Switcher is wonderful and Jamie is the best. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock, so let's get started. Jan, thank you very much for popping on. And I saw you popped on the test last night. That was funny. That was when Jamie was actually helping me figure this mess out and straighten it out. So anyway, okay, let's get started. Let me bring this over and show you. These are the cards that we did this week on my newsletter. And the reason I did, well, first of all, here's the Christmas card. Isn't that stinking cute? You're watching on Facebook. Good. Thank you. If anybody is going to try YouTube, please let me know how that's going. But this card is so stinking cute. And this one, I took a lot of inspiration from demo. I think it was Lola Wrist. Or was it Wanda Pettijohn? I don't know. One was Wanda and one was Lola. And now all of a sudden my brain isn't telling me which one it is. It doesn't matter, but both Wendy. Hey, Winnipeg. Hey, Wendy. Thank you so much. Rainy and chilly here today. Well, you probably need a rain, as we did this past week. So thank you for popping on. That's so nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, anyway, as I was saying, this one is one from a demonstrator. It's either Lola or Wanda, and this one is from Lola or Wanda. I don't know which, but how stinking cute. Look at this. I love this little, especially this little gingerbread, the cookies baking on the tray. And then this one is a birthday card, and my dear friend Cindy, one of my friends who comes every week to stamp with me with her friend Ellen, suggested that she needed some birthday cards, so I decided to pull this one out, and I love this template. So I think what I'm going to do first is start with the birthday one. So let me get this over here and get everything that I need for the birthday. Let me bring this in. This is a fun card to stamp, to make. So let me just get this all set up. So my basic card stock is beige, which I love. I love this color. I'm really hoping that Stampin' Up! Is going to get envelopes that match this. But anyway, this is basic beige, and this is the base of the card. And so you know the routine here, folks. We're just going to get this. There we go. All right. Then the next thing I did was I took a piece of beige in the 5 1/4 by 4 inch size, and I ran it through the Time Warm type. Everything is great. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much. And good morning, Barbara McDuffie. Thank you so much for popping on. I really appreciate your support a lot. So as I was saying, this is a piece that's 5 1/4 by 4. I ran it through the Time Warm type, which is an oldie but a goodie embossing folder. I just love that vintage look. So this is the next layer that I'm going to put on my base. So let me get this here. And then what did I do with my adhesive? I just had it. Where did I put it? Oh, for heaven's sakes. You think, you think you're smart and you think you got everything ready to go? And lo and behold, all right, so here's a new one. It's probably looking right at me. Can't find it on YouTube, Paula. Oh, for heaven's sakes, no. Oh, I don't understand. It's there. I know it's there somewhere, hopefully. Okay, so let's put this on. And if you look very closely, there are words here. And if you can decipher between the Time Warm type issue, you can see what the orientation is. So anyway, that is on like that. All right, so the next thing I did was I took a piece of uh, basic beige, and this is actually, I'm going to give it to you in the, there we go. This is 3 inches by 4 1/4. Hey, Terry, thank you for popping on from Maine. I really appreciate it. How's it up there? I bet it's like our weather here, nice and chilly and beautiful. So then the next thing I did was I took another piece of cardstock and I ran it through, which I love this folder. This is called Damask Design. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful embossing folder. So I took a piece of the basic beige, ran it through. I also took a piece of Timid Tiger and ran it through. So I have these 3 little panels, and these 3 panels measure, well, the first one, the Timid Tiger, measures 3/4, but these other 2 measure 1 inch, and it is 4 inches by 4 inches. So 1 inch and 1 inch, and then 3/4 by 4 inches. It is gorgeous here. I'm sure it is. So then the next thing I'm going to do, I can't wait. We'll be going to Maine very soon, December. It's right around the corner. Can you even believe it? Oh my gosh. How can this be the 17th of October already? Holy moly. All right, so here it is. I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to put it right over to the left edge, close like that. And I'm just going to make sure that I get it nice and even. And you can see there is a little bit of detail right here. I mean, you could orient it any way you wanted, but I just decided to orient it in this position. So the little flower is on the top. I mean, it's all flowers. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't, and truly. The only issue would be to make sure that whatever way you orient all 3 panels, that they are in the same orientation. So, all right, so now I'm going to put this one on like this, over to the side, just like that. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one, and this is going to go right in the middle like that. I love Timid Tiger. This color is a new in color. It's beautiful. It's very vibrant, in my opinion, and I love it. Whoops, I got a little piece of... Okay, I'll tell you what that is. That piece is... This is a piece of rosemary. You say, why rosemary? Well, I'll tell you why rosemary. Because last night I was making potpourris for our one of the fairs that we're doing, and I've had all the ingredients on the table, and that is a piece of rosemary that got stuck. It's amazing. I mean, it's unbelievable what my studio looks like right now, getting ready for these fairs. Anyway, here we go. The rosemary is gone. It smells good. And whoops, I've got this upside down. Let's fix this. It's got to go this way. That's what I was saying. Oh, yay, Paula. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. That Jamie at Switcher is amazing. All right, so this is going to go in just like that. Perfect. And now this is going to get put on to my base front with my adhesive. You know how I am. I have to make sure that this gets plenty of adhesive here so it sticks nicely. And let me bring this in. Now I want to make sure east-west and north-south are equal as the eyeball can approve of. That looks pretty good to me, okay? I'm going to plant that down. Now, this is... Oh, Barbara, you silly rat. Okay, let's go here. I have to take this off. Hopefully I can take it off quickly with my bone folder. I forgot to put the ribbon on. This is Timid Tiger ribbon. Isn't that pretty? So that should have gone on before I put it on here on my base. So let's just put this on. And I'm going to put it down a little bit, like about right here. Pull this in. By the way, this ribbon, the In Color ribbon Timid Tiger, is a very soft ribbon. It's a lovely ribbon. It holds very nicely. It makes great bows or knots if you're not into making bows. All right, let's try this again. Okay, that's nice and even. That looks good. And that looks very pretty, I think. Don't you think that's pretty? Yay. Okay, so there we go. Now I can press really firmly. and make sure that sticks. Beautiful. Okay, now this is wicked fun. So in order to get, let me bring my sample back in. In order to get this flower, I use the Art Gallery stamp set. It's a 2-step stamping. And there's a little trick to this. I'm sure you're all aware of it, but I'm just going to show you anyway. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pen or a pencil, it doesn't matter, and I'm going to make a little tick mark right up here, like that. See that tick mark? Then the next thing I did was on the stamps, and these are old stamps, and we've used this before, but if you can see right there, there is a tick mark right there. Can you see that? A little black tick mark that I put there, and then I put this one. So this is the one it goes on top of the other. And the reason that I do that is so that I can align it up perfectly on my paper. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the peach pie. This is the lighter color. And I'm going to put some peach pie on here. And I'm going to use, and what I did was I labeled my block so that I know which one I used. Pay no attention to the 2, it's actually number 1. So I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put it so that the tick mark is just below, the stamp's tick mark is just below this tick mark here. And you know what, I probably am going to have to get my head in the way here, but okay, there we go, like that. Sorry about that. But if you can see it, you can see the tick mark on the stamp, and then you can see the tick mark on the cardstock. So let me lift that up. Perfect. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Timid Tiger, which is the brighter color. This is a very vivid combination orange. It's probably got a little bit of peachy to it. It's got a little bit of yellow to it. And so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to place this tick mark right, again, I have to bring this down. I know you're going to see the top of my head, but I want to make sure that I get that tick mark right under that, just as I did with the first stamp. And then this is going to be perfect, just like this. You know what I forgot? I forgot to use, but it looks beautiful. What I forgot to do was to use my Pierce pad because it is a photopolymer stamp. Shame on me. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is take Old Olive, and here is the stamp for that. This is perfectly stamped just like this. Let's see if I can get this on like this. Don't tell anybody that I didn't use my Pierce pad. I'm supposed to, for heaven's sakes. All right, so that's done. So now I'm going to take my little snips. Paula gave me this a long time ago, and when I get frustrated, I just take this out and try to relax with doing some physical therapy. All right, so let's cut this, and then I'm going to bring in my, let's move this out of the way. I'm going to bring in my little cutter, and we're going to get these trimmed out. You should smell my studio too. It smells like potpourri down here. Really good. All right, let's cut the leaves out. Great tip for alignment. Yes, it is. Wait a minute. Well, let's cut the flower out since that's what I put on here. Okay, so now, where is my, let's figure this out. I should have put a tick mark on this too. Here we go, right here, like this. Actually, allow me to do that right now. So I'm going to put a tick mark on my die right here. So I will always know where to align that up. Okay, and now we're just going to run this through. Yes, it is Terry. Yep. There we go. All right. And there is this flower. Look at how pretty that is. Oh, all right, now I will get the leaves cut out very quickly. There we go. Pay no attention to the fact that my plates are so old, but you know what? They're good. They're very good. Perfect. I could use some washi tape to anchor this down, but I'm not. Sometimes I do, depending on what it is. When we were doing the M&M Christmas tree card this week, I used a washi tape because I wanted to make sure that that stayed nice and perfect. And so here are the leaves. How lovely is that? So let me get rid of that. Let me put this on my magnetic board so I don't lose it. Let me take this. Now we're going to get my dimensionals, because we need dimensionals. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on this. Plenty of them, actually. I want to make sure that this stays nice and popped up. I think 4 is good on the flower, like that. Oh, 5. Can I count? All right, there we go. All right, now I'm going to bring my card back in. It's another piece of that rosemary. I'm telling you, I had no idea how much 3 pounds of rosemary looked like until the package came. It was like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of rosemary. But we're making a lot of potpourris, which are very pretty. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my leaves on, and I think I'm just going to angle it down just a little bit below here, because I am going to trim out there. That's going to be good. And I'm just going to take my little snips and I'm going to trim out this bottom like that. Then I'm going to put my flower on. I love this card, and thank you, Cindy, so much. Good Terry. Yeah, this is a great versatile stamp set for certain. And I think I'm going to put it like this, like that, just like that. Maybe a little bit over. There we go. You know what? I should have moved the float. Let me just see if I can lift these up and move this over just a tad. This is an easy way to remove something if you've got it on with dimensionals. Just put your snips under very carefully and do a little snip, snip, snip. And it should come off fine like that. And then you can very carefully, very, very carefully with your finger roll. See, there are no mistakes, none. Whoops, except when you get things sticking on you. All right, let me pull this up very carefully, because I don't want my flower to extend over the diameter of the card, because then it won't fit nicely in the envelope. So as you could see, there was a little bit of overlap there, so that's why I had to take this off. And I'm going to just pull this off too. Okay, and everybody, don't forget about the sign-on special. It's a win-win situation, truly. For $35 or $95, you get a ton of stuff. Your choice, of course, but it's good through the end of October. There's no obligation. You don't have to do anything at all. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. You can be a hobby demonstrator, and you can buy stuff just for yourself. Or you can invite your friends over for a monthly class or something. All right, let's try this again. I'm going to bring this in like this. There we go. That's going to be better, like that. Now I'm going to put my flower on. Oh, much, much better. Perfect. Look at that. Lovely. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little happy birthday, and I am going to use my Pierce pad because we need to. And I'm going to take my Timid Tiger, which is the darker of the two colors, and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it right like this. Perfect. Then I will close this up for a moment, or actually put it over there. Then I'm going to trim this out. I'm going to take my little 6-inch cutter. Boy, 6-inch cutters are the nicest little tools. And I'm going to leave a little bit of extra space on the birthday side, because I'm going to put one of the Timid Tiger gems on it. So let's just do this. I think this is perfect like that. I love this. There we go. You know what? I'm going to trim this tiny little bit, just a smidge on the bottom here. There, perfect. Let me get this out of the way, and this out of the way. All right, now I'm going to bring my card back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dimensional, actually, I think I'm going to put it, yeah, just like that. Perfect. So I think I need to trim these in half, the larger dimensionals in half. The smaller ones, I could have used those too. Oh, look at this. I can put this on like that. I love the fact that we have so much versatility with our tools, especially our adhesives. Let's put this on. I definitely want to make sure I get enough of this on so that it sticks up very nicely. And that's going to be good like that. Now, let me move this out of the way, get these off. This would make a lovely thinking of you, get well, sympathy, birthday, and you can do it in whatever colors you want. I happen to choose the Timid Tiger because I think it's a really pretty color. Now I want to make sure that I have some of that the Timid Tiger paper showing, and I also want to overlap it just a little bit on the side here, just for eye appeal. So that's going to go on like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to take, these are the gems. These are the in color gems, some of them. And I'm going to take my Pick Me Up tool, and I'm going to use, let's see, I think I'm going to use a small one. I have bigger ones too, but yeah, I think that, look at how pretty that looks. So there's that. You move that over there, that over there. Whoa, little gingerbread man almost flew up. Okay, so now what I need to do is get the inside done, except on this one, I'm going to leave my message blank because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do for that message. I have some thoughts on that, but I'm going to hold off on that until I decide the recipient who's going to get that. So I'm going to take some peach pie, and I'm going to use this other floral set that goes in the Art Gallery bundle. Where is that? Where did I put that? Right here. I'll show you this. This flower. I'm going to use this flower right here, and I'm going to stamp the inside, except that's not it. It's right here. All right, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to stamp the inside, the lower right-hand corner like this. Just, whoa, whoa, did you see that? Let's fix that. Now, that flopped right off. All right, I'm going to put it on just like this. Isn't that pretty? Just a very subtle little image there. And then my message will go on, like I said, when I get, when I decide what person is going to get this. And then I'm going to take this envelope, and I'm going to do the same thing with the envelope. There. Okay, so there is that. Now, of course, you know what I'm going to say. There's one more thing that has to be done. One more important thing. How many want to guess what I'm going to do? Winky! Of course I'm going to take Winky. And I am going to wink up the leaves. This one is, I think this Winky is almost finished, but it's working. There we go. Just a little bit like this to give it just a little bit of extra eye appeal, contrast, interest. And then the very last thing, this is almost done, but I've got enough there. Then the last thing is, thank you, Paula, and a little bit of sprinkle. I'm salting the stew. There we go. Just a pretty little bit like that. And then it is done. This one is done. There we go. Isn't that pretty? See, just a little bit of interest there. And of course, here's the envelope. Okay, so there's one that we're going to do next week. All right, so now let me get this out of the way, and let's bring in this. This is so stinking cute. Oh my gosh. I just love this card. Like I said, I can't remember if this is Lola or Wanda, but I'm giving credit to both of them for this template, for both these cards, rather. All right, so my base is going to be some crumb cake. I'm going to take my crumb cake. Let me move this out of the way so we can get playing here. And this is the card that you play with. It's so much fun cutting these dies out. So here is my folded card base, lovely. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I did. I took a piece of soft suede cardstock. This is a piece that is 5 by 3 3/4 inches because it's going to be layered on this piece of red. But what I did was I then took this wonderful set, which is called the Collage, Christmas Collage Words and dies. This is a hybrid. I love it. And as you might remember, a few weeks ago, we used this embossing folder and the die to cut out all of these messages. And remember, we made these cards. Look at how cute they were. This one was Dear Santa, Let It Snow, Ho, Ho, Ho. And this was Merry Christmas. Look at, this is a great, great, great set. This bundle, this die, and the embossing folder. So what she did and what I did was I copied that, of course. I took the piece of soft suede and then I took a piece of designer paper. And this designer paper is a piece that is 5 inches by 1.25 inches. I attached it to this piece of soft suede, and then I ran it through my Stampin' Cut machine. And then you can see the subtleness, but you can see the messages. Noel, peace, happy, Christmas, Merry Christmas, seasons, magic. I just think it's really a very clever idea and a great use of this folder. So then what we're going to do is take what did I do with I threw it over here. Okay, so I'm going to take this and add some adhesive to it. This would make a great background for so many different Christmas cards, if you can well imagine. I mean, it's just a very subtle, but yes, very sweet thing. All right, so here it is. It's going to go on the red base, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And then this is going to go on the base of the card, like this. And this is a horizontal orientation, and I always have to remember that, because how many times have I cut cardstock and cut it the wrong way? But there are no mistakes in Stampin' Up. You know that. Okay, so there is that. So then I'm just going to put this aside for a second, because I have to show you these absolutely adorable dies that I cut out. First of all, these are the stamp sets that I used. Homemade Treats. Oh, I'm sorry about that. What is the name of the embossing folder? The embossing folder is Christmas Words. It's the Christmas Words collage. There we go. That's it. So it comes in a bundle, or I think you can get them separately too. So this is the embossing folder, Christmas Words, and this is the die that goes with it. But it's a great set to have, I think. Okay, and then these are the stamp sets that I used. I used Homemade Treats because I had to have all of these cute little things. The oven mitt, I had to have the rolling pin, I had to have the gingerbread man, and then I used the gingerbread man stamp set because I have to have Baking Spirits Bright. How stinking cute is this set? So what I did was I took some silver metallic paper and I first cut out my pie pan, my cookie sheet. Look at how cute that is. Isn't that the most adorable little cookie sheet? Look at the little lines on it. And then I have my 4 little gingerbread guys. I took very vanilla cardstock, and with soft suede ink, I stamped these little guys out. So there they are, like that. And then I took a piece of designer paper and cut the oven mitt out. Isn't that sweet? This is Traditions of Christmas designer paper. You could use either side, but I like this because you can see the little poinsettias in there. Very delicate, but I thought that was a cute little oven mitt. And then I cut out 2 of the rolling pins, because if you remember from the sample, the handles are red and the pin itself is crumb cake. So what I did was I stamped 2 of those, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that right now. I want the rolling pin to be the top, so I'm going to cut off these little edges right here, just like that. And then I am going to put some adhesive on this, like that. And then I'm going to put it on this rolling pin like this. How stinking cute is that? Isn't that easy? Easy. You're welcome, Jan, anytime. All right, so then I'm going to bring this back in. And by the way, if you'll recognize, I did use 2 different designer papers. I used one green and one red. Everybody can have a choice of what they want. And this was a green mitt, and then this one is the red mitt. So you can do it however you want. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my baking sheet. I'm going to take my little gingerbread characters, and I am going to put these little guys on with glue dots. So I'm going to take my pick tool, and I'm just going to very carefully put a glue dot on every one of them because it's just easier. There we go. Take my pick tool. I love my tools. Tools are good. You have to have good tools. It makes it so much more fun. And then one more like this. And here we go. And now I'm going to take these little gingerbread cookies. They're so darn cute. Oh, it's fun. It's like being in kindergarten all over again. There's one little gingerbread character. And here's another one, right like that. And then another one. Whoops, get back up here. I'm going to put you down like that. And then this one. How cute is that? And then I'm going to add some adhesive to this. You could use Tombow if you want. I alternate between Tombow and my snail. And I'm going to put this on like this, just like that. Perfect. And make sure it stays down nicely. And then I'm going to put my oven mitt on. The oven mitt I will use with, actually, I'm going to put the oven mitt on with dimensionals. Yeah, why not? Because we can. All right, let me put this little one right there. There we go. And one more. All right, so the mitt is going to go on with dimensionals. And we're almost done. How cute is this? You know what? Think about this. These would make fantastic invitations for a cookie swap. You know, wouldn't that be a cute idea for a cookie swap to invite people to come over? Or it could be a great thank you for the cookie swap. Thanks for inviting me to this cookie swap. I had a great time, and look at all the great cards I got. Now I'm going to put my rolling pin on, but I'm just going to put adhesive on this right down the center. I don't need anything on the edges because they're tiny. They'll be fine. And I'm just going to overlap that like this. There we go. Now, of course, I have to have some Winky. I'm going to put Winky on the handles, and I'm going to put Winky on here like this and like this. How come that's not sticking? There. There, now it's sticking. Okay, like that. I'm not going to put any Winky on the oven mitt because the oven mitt is made of cloth. But I am going to put some Winky on my little gingerbread guys because these little gingerbread guys just came out of the oven and they're nice piping hot and they've got that shiny glisten to them that some have, some gingerbread cookies have. Maybe they put some baking sugar on and it melted and it came out shiny. But there we go. Thank you, Terry. It is adorable. I know, it's so stinking cute. I just think this would be great for so many things. Now, the other thing I did on this one is I took my red watercolor marker, which unfortunately we're not having anymore, but you definitely could use the alcohol marker, but I just took this and colored the hearts in just a little bit like that. How cute is that? I mean, adorable. You could leave them blank, like you could leave them the color of the basic beige, but I thought with adding just a little bit of redness to that hat, it would make it pop a little bit more. I thought that was cute. See, I'm almost done. I can't really talk when I color. There we go, almost done. How cute is this? And then I just have to do the inside and the envelope, and these are going to be finished. I think these would be sweet to invite people to a cookie swap. Well, like I said, thank you for inviting me to the cookie swap. I had a great time. People are really clever with these stamp sets, these bundles. Okay, there we go. So there's that. All right, now the inside needs just a little sweet message, and I love this message that says, Baking Spirits Bright. Isn't that cute? Love these cards. I love paper dolls. Me too. Whoops, I got to get my piece of vanilla here for the inside. So this is this, and then I need this. I can't forget that. Here I say that I use it. I've got to use it. All right, I'm going to take some Real Red. That's the color scheme here. And Baking Spirit Sprite. And I'm going to make sure this is nice and even. And there we go. And whoops, upside down. Upside down for you for a second. There we go. Baking Spirit Sprite. And then I'm still not done because I have to have these cute little gingerbread guys on the side. I love paper dolls too, Wendy. The big thing with my sister and I was we had the Sears catalog, and we took the Sears catalog and cut out the models in it. So there is my inside, and then here is my envelope. And I'm going to put a bunch of little gingerbread people on here like that. Let me close this up, and then let me take this and this and this, get that out of the way, and I'm going to add some adhesive to this. And we're going to put this on the inside. Oh gosh, so cute. East and west and north and south, and there we have it. Done. So these are the cards that we're going to do next week, Monday and Tuesday. If you're coming to my classes, please let me know what you'd like to make. I think they're sweet. I hope you do too. It was, oh, wait. I'm not finished yet. I forgot about the peppermint candies. Here they are. Oh, how could I forget about these? This is the Peeps de Resistance. Let's add some peppermints in here. I'm going to add a big one like right up here. How cute is this? I'm going to add a medium size like right here. And then I'm going to add one more. I'm going to add a little one. Let's add a little one over like right here. Like right there. There we go. Now I'm a happy camper. There we go. The peppermints just add a little bit more pizzazz. So that is it for this week, my friends. I hope that you've enjoyed these cards, and I hope to see you next week. And I hope that both Facebook and my YouTube. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed these cards, and I hope to see you next week. I will do something again next week for a Christmas card, week number 16, then we're all done. But we'll talk about that in my newsletter. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great next week, and I will see you next Friday on the 24th of October. Can you even believe it's the 24th of October? How has this happened? All right, my friends, have a great time. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot.